Most Senate Republicans joining Democrats to override President Trump's veto. On Friday, the Republican-led chamber turned aside Mr. Trump's veto of a massive annual defense spending bill. The vote was overwhelming, 81-13. This first override of the Trump presidency comes just weeks before he leaves office. This morning, the president does seem more focused on next week's congressional certification of the election, though, hoping to overturn President-elect Joe Biden's win. Weijia Jiang is at the White House. Weijia, good morning.
Good morning to you, Jeff, and good morning to everybody. This veto override marks a rare public rebuke of President Trump by members of his own party. And there are other signs that his power over the GOP is cracking as his time in the White House comes to an end, including in his extraordinary challenge of the election results, which is going nowhere.
The bill on reconsideration is passed.
During an unusual New Year's Day session, the Republican-controlled Senate voted to override President Trump's attempt to block a $740 billion defense policy bill.
We've passed this legislation 59 years in a row, and one way or another, we're going to complete the 60th annual NDAA and pass it into law before this Congress concludes on Sunday.
The president wanted the measure to include a repeal of some legal protections for social media companies. On Twitter, he said failing to do so was pathetic. Mr. Trump also promoted what he called the big protest to stop the steal. His supporters plan to gather in Washington on Wednesday as Congress meets to certify President-elect Joe Biden's victory. Late last night, a federal judge who was appointed by Mr. Trump dismissed a lawsuit filed by Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert, who argued falsely that Vice President Mike Pence has the power to decide the outcome of the election. Gohmert also said the Congress is set for a showdown on January 6th, with over 140 House members pledging to object to Mr. Biden's claim of victory. Missouri Republican Josh Hawley is so far the only senator who said he plans to object to the certification of the election results. He's also standing by President Trump's push to increase stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000 a person, taking a swipe at GOP Senate colleagues who have not offered support.
And with all due respect, this doesn't seem to me to be a Republicans versus Democrats issue. This seems to be the Senate versus the United States of America.
In Georgia, 2 Republican senators are fighting to keep their seats in runoff elections on Tuesday. But Senator David Perdue is in quarantine after someone on his campaign tested positive for COVID-19.
It's terrible timing, but we are not going to miss a step.
The Georgia runoffs will determine control of the U.S. Senate. Last night, President Trump tweeted that the races are illegal and invalid, which is not true. Despite making that false claim, both he and Vice President Pence plan to campaign on behalf of the Republicans in Georgia on Monday, the eve of Election Day. Dana?
Weijia, thank you.